This is the Manga Xanadu Manga Dome podcast. I am your host, Laurie Henderson. Join me on this journey into the world of manga, where a river of reviews flow through caverns of commentary down into the latest news. Welcome to the Manga Dome. Episode 29, Higurashi When They Cry, Atonement Arc. The Weekly Wish List. Finally, a week with some titles I'm interested in. I became interested in Missions of Love after reading the first chapter in Kodansha's digital sampler reel. Volume 5 comes out this week, so I just have to catch up with volumes 1 through 4. Summer Wars is from Vertical and is a manga adaptation of the anime movie of the same name. The description sounds interesting, and there was a lot of good word of mouth about the movie, so I'm interested in this one too. After School Charisma is a Viz signature title that gets released once a year, and this week is it for this year. I've read up to Volume 5, and am still fascinated by its sci-fi premise and clones, so it's one I want to keep up with. Volume 8 is out this week. Kodansha adds more ebooks. Kodansha has been making up for lost time in the ebook department by making more of their titles available digitally. At NYCC, they announced several titles to join the titles they announced at SDCC. Of their new licenses, Say I Love You, My Little Monster, and Sherlock Bones will be available in the coming year. From the backlist are Shugochara and Chara-chan, Tokyo Mew Mew and Mew Mew a la Mode, and Negima. And just this week, on the official Kodansha Twitter, 4 more backlist titles were announced. Holic Omnibus, as well as the new license of Holic Ray, Tsubasa Omnibus, Love Hina, and Nagio. Kodansha is actually doing a good job of playing catch-up with this latest list of digital titles. Hopefully they'll be able to keep up with the new licenses as well as bringing out old titles, so their whole catalog will be available digitally. New manga from familiar creators. 2 new titles were announced in Japan by creators well known in the US. Fans of Otomo games, like me, can rejoice as a manga adaptation of the 3rd La Corte de Ora dating sim will start serialization in November. Yuki Kure will take up pen again for this adaptation. This will be the 2nd adaptation of La Corte 3 and the 3rd for Kure, who did both the first adaptation that Viz published and the first for La Corte 3, which just ended recently. I'd love for Viz to license the first La Corte 3 adaptation while we're waiting for the 2nd to build up some chapters under its belt. But if you can't wait that long, there'll be an anime adaptation as well to start in April. Tomoko Ninomiya, the creator of Nodame Cantabile, will be starting a new series, which will also debut in November. Nanatsuya Shinobu no Hoseki Bako, or Nanatsuya Shinobu's Jewel Box, is a story set in a pawn shop and follows 2 people, Aki and Shinobu, who are fascinated by jewels. I've always had a fascination with gemstones and their lore, so this sounds like it might be interesting. I hope Kodansha will give this some consideration. I'd also like Kodansha to consider Nonomiya's other series, 87 Clockers, a title about computer otaku who like to overclock their machines. I'm geeky like that. There is no top 10 from Viz this week, but there are 2 new titles that debuted on the Viz manga site this week that also have a Halloween twist. X is a clamp title that Viz has been publishing in omnibus format. Kamui Shiro returns to Tokyo after his mother took him away after the death of the mother of his 2 best friends, Kotori and Fuma. He returns a changed man, distant and moody, but just as determined to protect his friends from the terrible catastrophe yet to come and his own destiny that could decide the fate of the rest of the world. X is one of Clamp's seminal works. It is also as yet unfinished. Start reading this title only if you dare. Kawa is a one-shot volume by Akira Toriyama, the creator of Dragon Ball, among others. This is a kid-friendly title about Kawa, a half-vampire, half-were-koala. He and his friend Jose, the ghost, get into the trouble most young boys do, but when monster flu starts to sweep through their village, it's up to Kawa and his friends to find the cure. It's a very cute series with a lot of Toriyama's usual humor that will appeal to kids and adults. It's perfect for the Halloween season. The New York Times bestseller list for this week lists the top 10 manga for the week of October 12th, 2013. Yep, that's 2 weeks behind. It's still Kodansha's Titans at the top, with Attack on Titan Volume 1 at number 1, which is followed by Attack on Titan Volume 2 at number 2. Soul Eater Volume 16 slips in at number 3, and the Titans return with Attack on Titan Volume 7 at number 4. Attack on Titan Volume 3 finished up the top 5 at number 5, and Fairy Tail Volume 30 is at number 6 for its second week on the list. Blackbird Volume 17 falls to number 7, which is followed by Bleach Volume 58 at number 8. The Last Attack on Titan, Volume 5, comes in at number 9, and the list ends with Sailor Moon Short Stories Volume 2 at number 10. Kodansha dominates this list, holding 7 of the 10 titles, and 5 of them are Attack on Titan. This is really unbelievable. I don't think I've seen one series hold so many spots, not even during Viz's speed-ups of Naruto, One Piece, or Bleach. Viz keeps its 2 top sellers from last week, while Yen Press doesn't do too bad with its only entry at least making it into the top 5. Higurashi When They Cry, Atonement Arc. Higurashi When They Cry is a manga that is based on a series of visual novels. It's billed as a murder mystery, but falls heavily on the horror side. The story is really a series of arcs that present the same story, taking place in June of 1983 in the small village of Hinamizawa. Over the last 4 years, there have been a series of unsolved murders, all happening around the Cotton Drifting Festival. This year, Kenichi Maebara has moved to Hinamizawa, made friends in the small one-room school, and is looking forward to the festival. The first 4 arcs, known as question arcs, retell the same story with different characters playing either the protagonist, who is driven to murder, or the villains that drive them to that point. The last 4 arcs are known as answer arcs, where the first 4 arcs are retold from yet another perspective and start to give answers. The Atonement Arc is the second of the answer arcs, and answers the first question arc, Abducted by Demons. Confused yet? It does seem like an overly complicated way to tell a mystery, but if I knew back when the series started what I know now, I would have stuck with it. Higurashi When They Cry Atonement Arc is 4 volumes long. It is written by Ryukishi07 and illustrated by Karen Suzuragi. It is published by Yen Press and is a horror murder mystery. It is rated for older teens and retails for $11.99 US. Because this is an answer arc, this review may contain spoilers. If you haven't read the previous question arcs or this arc and don't want to know what happens, you may want to skip this review. I started reading Higurashi when it premiered in Yen Press's Yen Plus magazine. I was looking forward to reading a murder mystery, but the paranoia and gore pushed me away. I never finished reading the Abducted by Demons arc. I tried to come back in the Cotton Drifting arc, but again, felt turned off by the story and never finished it. Comments I read about the Massacre arc, the one after Atonement, made me think I should give it one more try. I had Atonement as well and decided to read it before jumping into Massacre. While there are some gory scenes, the story in Atonement easily overrode them. The Atonement arc centers around Reina Ryugu. She was born in Hinamizawa, but her family moved away, and she and her father recently moved back the previous year. With her father being preyed on by a Yazuka couple, Reina takes matters into her own hands to protect her happiness. She tries to shoulder the burden herself, but Keiichi and her friends stumble on her. But instead of turning her in, they pledge to help her. It seems like things will be all right until Mio Tanako appears, giving Rhea a scrapbook that suggests there is a conspiracy going on in the village. Rhea becomes more paranoid and isolates herself from her friends. Keiichi grows worried about Rhea as he starts to have flashbacks to a dream or another world where he went through the same thing as Rhea. He is determined not to let Rhea fall into the same trap he did. I really enjoyed this arc. The story had more of a mystery than horror feel. Rhea's fall into madness didn't have the same feel as the others since there were more sides shown. We aren't just watching Rhea slowly lose touch with reality and withdraw from her friends, eventually turning on them. We are also seeing the perspective of those around her and the reality of the things that Rhea is misinterpreting. The van that Rhea thinks is following her is really just some lost gardeners. The Sonozakis turning the police on her are really Mion's attempts to help Rhea and keep her secrets safe. The story starts off by showing us these things from Rhea's warped perspective and then straightening them out. Her wild claims all have mundane explanations. Like debunking pseudoscience claims, all of Rhea's irrational beliefs are overturned by much more likely and rational explanations. I really liked Keiichi in this arc. He is usually the protagonist victim in the question arcs, so it was nice not to see him going crazy, but trying so hard to keep Rhea from falling down that hole. He was the most understanding and supportive of Rhea, and got the others, Mion, Rika, and Sakoto, to join him. His recall of events from the first arc, when he first lost it, really helped him see what Rhea was going through. I loved how he worked out what happened in the first arc and what clues he missed the first time that seem so obvious now. In working it all out for himself, he sees Rhea's true feelings for him, and is the one who finds the way out for her and eventually everyone. Keiichi really believed in the power of friendship. It might help that he also had feelings for Rhea, but Keiichi goes all in for all of his friends. Whether it's believing in Rhea's crazy theories or trying to help everyone when Rhea takes the school hostage, Keiichi never gives up and goes all out to help his friends. Rika, who seems to remember all of the realities that Keiichi is just starting to, and the others don't, is ready to give up on Rhea and the reality, but Keiichi shows her through sheer force of willpower that the cycle of violence can be broken. This arc is the first arc where not only do none of the friends die, but also has a happy ending. I also like that, even though Keiichi is surrounded by girls, there's no harem feel about it. He definitively declares Mion as his best friend, while Rhea gets the more romantic feelings. While there aren't as many deaths as previous arcs, this title does boast some disturbing scenes. In the scene where Rhea kills Rina, it's almost funny how Rina reacts to the beating she gets, as she seems more worried about her broken nails than arm. Rhea cutting up her victims for easy handling is pretty bloody, but as long as there are no intestines hanging out, I'm okay with it. The maggots were the worst part for me. Suzuragi draws the wiggling little creatures with too much detail for me. I flip past those pages fast. Overall, Higurashi When They Cry Atonement Arc was really a fun read. It moved at a good pace and kept me glued to the page. I was anxious to start the next volume after finishing each previous one. This arc also did something I like stories to do. It tied the beginning to the end. So the big water gun fight that started the arc had meaning at the end and became the key in bringing Rhea back. You can pick up this arc without knowing what happened in any of the others, but being familiar with the Abducted by Demons arc will give more meaning to Keiichi's actions. I'm now looking forward to the next arc, the Massacre arc, and am even feeling tempted to go back and read the Question arcs. Now that I know that there is hope and an end in sight, I might be able to handle the more disturbing arcs better. I give Higurashi When They Cry Atonement Arc, Volumes 1 through 4, a 4.5 out of 5 stars. Thank you for listening to the Manga Xanadu Manga Dome podcast. You can find links to the stories and books discussed here in the show notes at manga.jadedragononline.com. You can email me with any questions at xanadu@jadedragononline.com or leave a comment on this post. Rate me on YouTube and follow me on Twitter at Manga Xanadu, all one word. Until next time, farewell from the Manga Dome.